Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you tonight for a movie review. I finally got a chance to check this movie out. I know I said I was going to do it in the next day or so, I just haven't gotten around to it. I'm actually reviewing the movie Fast X, the 10th installment in the Fast and Furious series. I got a chance to watch. It's the first part to the final chapter of this whole Fast and Furious saga. So I'm going to discuss what I watched for this 2 hour and 20-minute movie for Fast X, the first part to conclude the Fast and Furious series, and let you know my thoughts on it overall. So let's dive into this movie review. Now, basically, it stars Vin Diesel. Jason Statham's in it, plays as pretty much the character he was playing as. I kind of forgot his character's name, to be honest. It's just been a while since I've really followed the Fast and Furious saga again. But basically, Deckard Shaw, I think it was, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Deckard Shaw. I just remembered at the last second. Sorry about that. Basically, the premise of the movie is Herman Reyes' son, Dante Reyes, is seeking revenge for his father's death and bringing the fight to Dominic Toretto and his family and all that. And, he had his methods of ways to prepare for this. And this is the first part in the conclusion to this series. Would I say there was some excitement at the end of the movie? A little, but would I say this was the best film of this year? Not really. I think it's an okay film. I think it's a lot better than Fast 9, I can tell you that. But Fast 9 had its issues, big time. It was one of the worst films in the Fast and Furious saga. The very weakest film, in my honest opinion. And a big flop for the Fast and Furious saga. It was a total clusterfuck of a mess, is all I'm going to say. But this film, there's some interesting moments in the first part of the final act of this whole franchise, and I was slightly entertained. I wouldn't say this is my favorite film of this year. Not in the slightest. But I had some issues with certain plot lines as the story went on. For instance, it does drag on over 2 hours for these films now, and I think the final act is going to be probably the most interesting. Hopefully it's a short one, like only 2 hours at least, to keep the movie going, because honestly I don't think there's much left to explain in the story, because even if they wanted to finish the film, it probably would have lasted for 3 hours, but it could have gotten done in the best way possible. For this Fast and Furious 10 movie. But overall, I think Dante Reyes, Jason Momoa's character, he performed pretty well to a degree. I think his character was kind of wimpy at times from actually fighting Dominic. He's playing fucking mind games with him and trying to go after his family and all that, and pretty much he's playing some fucking head games with Dom, and it's turning into one of the biggest problems that they're facing, as basically Dom and all that are just trying to figure out what they're going to be doing next for the final act of the series. So overall, I think Fast X is an okay film. I mean, it was a step up from the ninth film, which was a complete shit show of a disaster. The action scenes are a little bit better and more tolerable to watch. I wouldn't say they're the best action scenes, because there's a lot of fight scenes and a lot of explosions, a lot of all that stuff, but it's the script that was the most unique and okay script, I would say, is a tolerable movie. Probably a movie I could buy on DVD. I do own Fast 9 only because I wanted to own it for the collection for this Fast and Furious saga. But I wouldn't say it's my favorite film I'd return to. I'd watch it again, but I know I'm going to hate it so fucking much. So for an overall score for me, I think I'm going to give Fast 10, the first part to the final act for this conclusion to the Fast and Furious saga. I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. Okay film. I wouldn't say it's my favorite film this year, but it had its good moments and some weak moments as the film went on. I mean, one character does die in the film that is not really much of a shocker, but it was kind of a sad, touchy moment. But I wasn't really crying at it. Sorry for yawning. I just get the yawns mostly. But basically 6.5 out of 10 for Fast X, the 10th film and the first part to conclude this series. Thank you guys for watching.